Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has visited the bridge collapse site in the city of Morbi to assess the disaster, which left at least 134 people dead. Mr. Modi was accompanied by Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel, who is facing strong calls to resign in the wake of the tragedy. The state government, meanwhile, has started distributing compensation to the next of kin ahead of statewide mourning tomorrow. Grieving families are carrying out funeral rites for their loved ones. Some 50 children were among those killed, the youngest just 2 years old. Neha Punya joins us live from New Delhi with more. Neha, first, give us some progress on the rescue operations, as well as how authorities are dealing with those held responsible for the collapse.
Jill, it's been 3 days since this massive tragedy took place in Western India, and rescue operations are close to winding down. Officials say it's very unlikely that they will find any more survivors at this point in time. At last count, 2 people were unaccounted for, and you have officials who are still on the ground searching the river that the bridge fell into, saying that they want to make sure that if there's anybody else who's missing, that person is accounted for, to give families who've lost loved ones a chance at some sort of closure. There were about 300 people on that bridge when it went down on Sunday evening, and there are many allegations that are being raised now, whether the bridge was reopened too soon, whether there was a security clearance in place before that happened, and 9 people have been arrested so far, many of them working for the company or ever that was tasked with maintaining and repairing that particular bridge. Some of these were managers, some people actually engaged in the repair work, and even some ticket collectors who sold tickets to these visitors, because there are allegations that overcrowding might have led to that bridge collapsing. Of course, there are also demands now for a judicial probe. A petition has been filed in the Supreme Court that will now be taken up on the 14th of November.
Now, we heard earlier that Prime Minister Modi also visited Morbi today. It is worth noting that the region is controlled by his party, and Gujarat state is headed for elections. How then will the accident impact the ruling BJP at the polls?
Well, we're already hearing opposition parties making calls for the state's chief minister, BJP leader, to step down, saying he must take moral responsibility for what happened, saying the government is, after all, responsible for any sort of facility like this that's opened up for public use eventually crashing, saying the government should have made sure that proper clearance was issued before the bridge was thrown open to the public after being shut for more than 7 months. You have Arvind Kejriwal, whose party, the Aam Aadmi Party, is trying to enter into the fray in Gujarat, where the BJP has ruled for 20 years, accusing the government there, the BJP government, Mr. Modi's party, of corruption, asking why Oreva, a company that actually is famous for making watches, was given this tender for maintaining and repairing a bridge that was built in 1877, raising questions of nepotism as well as corruption.
Neha Punya from New Delhi, thank you for the update.